Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Rachel. I make videos about living my life as a teenager with a disability and a service dog. So if you like that kind of content, please go ahead and subscribe. So this is not a video that I at all ever thought I was going to have to make, to be honest. But, you know, God has different plans than we do, and I wanted to share this story even though it was absolutely terrifying, because I feel like it can help some of you guys out there, because I know there are a lot of people with CP and a lot of people with CP watch my videos, and so I wanted to help you guys out in case you were ever going through that. Trigger warning, we're going to be talking about like hospitals and all sorts of ambulances, all the things like that. So if you don't like that, then I'll see you in my next video. We can hang out next time, but let's start it Saturday afternoon, okay? Because I think I may have started getting pre-seizure symptoms before the actual seizure, and I want to tell you guys about those. I don't know if they were pre-seizure symptoms or if it was, you know, basically on Saturday afternoon, sitting with my boyfriend on the couch, and then all of a sudden, like, I get this weird feeling all over my body, and my heart started like racing, and I thought that it was most likely anxiety, because I deal with anxiety and OCD on a daily basis. So to be honest, my
heart rate's kind of high most of the time, and I know that sounds unhealthy, but it's not.
Anyway, so that's why I kind of ignored it, and I didn't really think much of it. Fast forward to later on, when after my boyfriend left, I decided to lay down on the couch, because y'all know I have chronic pain, and that's just how it is. So I lay down, and that heart rate thing where it randomly spiked out of nowhere, and like it was almost like an out of body experience, because it wasn't like how it is when my heart rate normally spikes. It was like my heart rate spiked, and then my arms went kind of numb, and so I was scared at that point. So I immediately called my mom in the room. I told her that I thought I was having anxiety symptoms and that I didn't want her to leave the room. So we were sitting on the couch and everything was fine. Well, I fell asleep, and 4 a.m. rolls around. My mom wakes up, and she looks over at me, and she sees me start seizing. But she said it was more than the seizures that I used to have when I was a baby. And up until Sunday at 4 a.m., I had like a 10-year plus streak of no seizures. I do have background of having seizures, but then I was put on Keppra when I was younger, which then controlled them. And then my neurologist a couple of years ago told me that I should get weaned off of it. And so my mom listened, because she thought that I hadn't had like seizures since I hadn't had seizures in years. It was gonna be fine, and it was up until last Sunday night at 4 a.m. like I said. So anyway, I start seizing, and my mom calls the ambulance and gets me. I have another seizure in the ambulance. I don't know what that one looked like, but all my mom said about my first one was that it basically looked like the ones I used to have when I was a baby, which are focal eye seizures where you blink a lot, but it was a little bit more than that. It was a little bit more of like body shaking, but it wasn't like I didn't have a full grandma like seizure. I think they're called grandma. I don't even know. The really big ones. That wasn't the kind I had. It was in between. It was a little more than just a focal. So those were the kind that I was having. Well, around 5:30 or so, I wake up. Everything's good. I'm in the hospital, whatever. We're in the ER. And they basically tell us that they're going to look at my brain because I have CP, and they wanted to do that anyway immediately when they saw like my case. And they said that they were going to put me on Keppra again, and that my neurologist should have never taken me off it in the first place. So on an MRI scan, and the lady looks at me, she goes, if you think you're gonna have another seizure, squeeze this thing. Okay, well, I'm sitting here and I'm like, that's a lot of pressure to put on somebody, because I was not even cognizant when I had the previous seizure. So how am I supposed to know what it felt like? But anyway, I was just sitting there, and I was thinking in my head, like, how am I supposed to know what a seizure feels like if I'm gonna have one? Thank God I did not have one. I made it through without. And so, when I got out of the CAT scan room, though, my Aunt Susan and my mom were there, and they both greeted me. I said hey to my Aunt Susan, whatever. We go back to our room, and everything, like, was fine, and the neurologist comes in and says, your brain looks good. We're gonna put you back on Keppra, though, because you never should have been taken off of it, but yeah, we're gonna send you home. It's just a breakthrough seizure. It was probably just a fluke. We'll keep him under control with Keppra, whatever. So I'm like, okay. And so I'm chilling. Well, seconds later, my body just like starts seizing. And my mom witnessed it, and I remember her saying to me, like, you are oddly quiet, but that's the only thing I remember. And then I woke up hours later, and my cheeks were so swollen, and that's still why they're swollen now, and this happened on Sunday. It's because when I was having the seizure in the ER, I like bit down on the inside of my mouth and on the inside of my cheeks, and I have like cuts on the inside, but I have cuts on the inside of my cheeks. It's all kind of starting to heal now, but that's why I look a little swollen still. But anyway, so we got up to the ICU and they told my mom that they were gonna put me back on my medication. And yeah, that was pretty much the end of it. I haven't had any seizures since then. But a good thing about this though is that my startle reflexes have drastically decreased. And honestly, a lot of my stimming has too. So I think a lot of my startle reflexes that were happening, I think they could have been mini seizure sparks. And the neurologist did say that because my mom said that she thinks this breakthrough seizure happening was kind of a miracle in disguise to get me on that medicine again so that my reflexes and everything would calm down. So although I'm sad that I had a breakthrough seizure, and I'm sad that I started having them again, I'm glad that I'm on my medicine and that things are better now. And I did want to share this story with you. I want to share my experience with you guys in case any of you are having severe startle reflexes. I do recommend that you go and you get an EEG and see if that can maybe be some like mini seizure activity. I'm not saying it is, but like my reflexes have genuinely calmed down a lot, and so I did want to share this story for that reason, and also just to let you guys know that you're not alone. And if you're having seizures, I know what it's like. I understand. You're not alone. I'm praying for you. We're gonna get through it. It'll be okay. And yeah, so I will see you guys in my next video, and